Hi, I'm Mike.
I'm Cindy.
Hello, my name is Hunter Merchant. Today I'm here to talk to you about gun control. In almost every real-life situation and example that we have, gun control works. At first. After a few years, things start to go downhill. As long as there have been guns, there's been the issue of gun control. Who should have them and who shouldn't. In the 1700s, our country was founded because the colonists, almost every colonist had a gun and was able to use that to be able to fight back against a tyrannical government that was overseeing them. If the colonists did not own guns, they would not have been able to fight back against the British government that was trying to deny them their rights. Guns are an essential ingredient to freedom in the modern age. Freedom is not something that you were just given, it is something that was fought for and is being fought for and is being fought for every single day. If the people you are fighting against have guns and you don't, how can you possibly expect to win? This is why the Second Amendment was written, to give us the ability to defend ourselves against criminals and against the possibility of a criminal government that is no longer looking out for the best interests of its citizens. The Second Amendment states that a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Some people try to say that this only applies to the National Guard because all the militias of the time when this was written has since been turned into the National Guard. To these people I say that the United States Code 10, Chapter 12, Section 246, states that the militia of the United States consists of all able-bodied males of at least 17 years of age and, except as provided in Section 313 of Title 32, under 45 years of age who are or have made a declaration of intention to become citizens of the United States of America and female citizens of the United States who have been members of the National Guard. This just shows that by the government's own definition, gun laws are unconstitutional. Let's take a look at what has happened in history when other countries have tried to enact gun laws. In the 1930s and 1940s, Adolf Hitler made it a point to take away the guns of every country and people that he conquered. He even made the comment that the most foolish thing that we could possibly do is to allow the subjugated races to possess arms. History shows that all conquerors who have allowed their subjugated races to carry arms have prepared their own downfall by doing so. Indeed, I would go so far as to say that the supply of arms to the underdogs is a sine qua non for the overthrow of any sovereignty. For those of you that don't know, this sine qua non is another way of saying that something is an essential ingredient. In this case, Hitler is saying that firearms in the hands of citizens is an essential ingredient to overthrow any government or stop any one other government or person from trying to take over your country. In 1982, the city of Chicago, Illinois, instituted a ban on handguns. This ban made it illegal for civilians to possess a handgun unless it was registered with the city prior to the enactment of the ban. It was ruled in 2010 by the Supreme Court that this ban was unconstitutional and therefore it was taken out of Chicago law. According to JustFacts.com, from as far back in time as data is available, 1965, until when Chicago's handgun ban was enacted in 1982, 48% of all murders in Chicago were committed using handguns. In the years that the handgun ban was in effect, 1982 to 2010, 59% of all murders in Chicago were committed using handguns. That is an 11% increase after handguns were banned. My question is, if banning guns makes people safer, then why did crime rates rise after they were banned? In 1997, Britain instituted a handgun ban called the Firearms Act. This banned all handguns and required that citizens turn in all handguns that they already possessed to the police. According to gunfacts.com, firearm use in crimes in the UK doubled in the decades since handguns were banned. Even though the number of licensed handguns, was reduced dramatically, crime rates skyrocketed. Colin Greenwood, a British law enforcement officer, said in his paper that he submitted to the Parliament Select Committee on Northern Ireland that there is nothing in the statistics of England and Wales to suggest that either the stricter gun controls on handguns prior to 1997 or the ban imposed since have controlled access to these firearms by criminals. Moving to more recent events, let's talk about Venezuela. In 2012, the head of Venezuelan government, Hugo Chavez, banned all citizens from owning any type of firearm. Crime rates in Venezuela have been rising steadily since 1999 when Chavez took power anyways. However, in 2011, there were 19,336 people killed in Venezuela. In 2012, Chavez introduced the Control of Arms, Munitions, and Disarmament Law, and in 2015, the number of people murdered in Venezuela had risen to a staggering 27,875. Let me put that into perspective for you for a moment. In 2015, Venezuela had a population of 31.16 million. In 2015, the US had a population of 321 million. According to the FBI, there were 15,696 people killed in the US in 2015. The US had a population roughly 10 times larger than Venezuela, yet almost half the murders. If the history and the statistics aren't really getting my point across here, consider this. Imagine right now, I'm giving a speech in a university lecture hall, and you're in the audience. The university is a gun-free zone, and as a good law-abiding citizen, you would never think of violating that law by bringing a firearm into the gun-free zone. Also, the federal government has just passed a law that makes possession of a handgun a felony punishable by a minimum of 10 years in prison. With these measures in place, everyone feels safe and secure knowing that no one would actually bring a gun on campus. Suddenly, the entrance door opens and a man enters carrying a large duffel bag. You don't think anything of it at first because the sports fields are nearby. But the man stops, puts down his bag, and pulls out a chain. He then proceeds to secure the door with the chain so that it is not able to be opened. Before anyone has time to realize what's happening, he pulls out a couple of pistols and shoots the nearest student in the head. 2 seconds ago, she was bright, beautiful, and full of promise, an 18-year-old freshman. Now her head looks like a watermelon dropped on the ground, and her brains are scattered in the next 3 rows of students. Students begin to run, but there's nowhere to go because the doors are all secured. Even if you call 911, the police won't arrive for at least 5 minutes, and probably at least 10 before they can actually do anything to help. But you only have seconds to live as the gunman bears down upon you with his pistol, and everything seems to move in slow motion as he levels the pistol at your face. In this moment, you realize that you wish you had a gun to defend yourself with, but you don't because the government has taken it away from you. They have taken away your right to defend yourself, your family, and your friends. Due to this, you are going to die. You see, when the public is disarmed, ordinary criminals have greater impunity to steal, rape, and murder the innocent, and so do criminal governments. Yes, there are other ways to defend yourself. However, criminals are criminals. They don't follow law. That's what makes them criminals. If the people who want to hurt us have guns, then we should be able to have guns to defend ourselves with. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my speech. I hope you have a wonderful day, and that maybe now you at least understand my point of view.